The rise of powerful artificial intelligence will be either the best or the worst thing ever to happen to humanity. We don't yet know which. Stephen Hawking. Good morning, everyone. My name is Blas Flores.
My name is Ileana Ramirez.
And my name is Raul Velos.
And today we will talk about a topic that is very relevant today, which is artificial intelligence.
The last few years after the pandemic of COVID in 2020 have represented a significant technological revolution because when the world stopped, we had to resort to the digital world in order to continue to carry out our activities. And from this, technology started to become part of our day-to-day life. And for example, how many of you use TikTok? Or how many of you know about ChatGPT? And the reality is that most of these technologies that are part of our lives actually use artificial intelligence to function. And for example, TikTok, Spotify, Siri, Alexa, cars, and a long list. And actually, this video is an example of the use of artificial intelligence in applications like TikTok.
This is why artificial intelligence has the power to revolutionize the world as we know it. In the words of Elon Musk, we should be very careful about artificial intelligence. If I had to guess at our biggest existential threat it's probably that. We believe that artificial intelligence is dangerous because it can lead to job losses, ethical problems, technological dependence, and affect the social interactions. We therefore propose that its development should be regulated and controlled to try to avoid some of these more catastrophic consequences.
In order to understand more about this topic, we decided to pose the following 5 research questions. What is artificial intelligence? What is the history and most important advances of artificial intelligence? What are the advantages of artificial intelligence? What are the risks of artificial intelligence? And lastly, how can artificial intelligence change our lives?
Now the methods. To find the answer to the question posed, we decided to use MinerQuest, where we filtered the searches and selected only one sources that were academic, current, professional, and adequate, so that the quality of the information was good. The research took us approximately 3 weeks of searching, reading, and processing academic articles between 5 and 40 pages, and we finally arrived at the answer presented below.
First, what is artificial intelligence? We found that there are 3 points of view that complement the definition of artificial intelligence. First, Dr. Mustafa Ergen in 2019 conceived AI as the algorithms that have the ability to emulate the skills and behaviors of human beings. And on the other hand, the Dr. Michael Tay considers the AI systems as those that have the ability to manipulate data, perform tasks, solve problems, and in general, make life of humans much easier. And finally, Dr. Marius defines AI as a technological advance that allows humanity to interact in new ways with the environment. And these 3 perspectives led us to the conclusion that AI are machines and systems that revolutionize the way we interact with the environment by emulating human behavior and to solve problems. And here is an example of an AI mimicking human behavior.
Secondly, we find that the history and most important advances in artificial intelligence begin in 1942 with science fiction and philosophy, when humans only imagined what life would be like with intelligent machines at our services. Subsequently, the first breakthrough in AI was made in 1965 when Ukrainian mathematician Alexei Grigorevich introduced the development of human-like neural networks for machine learning. With the advancement of computers and data storage systems, AIs have advanced tremendously in a short period of time, to the point that they are now capable of creating art, driving cars, and even serving as virtual assistants and chatbots. As for future predictions, AIs are expected to be able to replace humans in any task, which could have serious consequences for our society. One example of this is ChatGPT, That is a chatbot that can help you create tedious tasks or simply have fun with him.
Clearly, we find that among the advantage of artificial intelligence is that they help us automate tedious and repetitive tasks. They are more accurate in performing jobs, which reduces human error, and they are more efficient. So they can do any task much faster than a human, and they reduce production costs in industries, which makes them more profitable. Moreover, according to a Dr. Slavi, it could also help to make more accurate diagnosis in the healthcare field.
And thirdly, we found that AI can pose numerous risks, especially in the technological, economic, social, and even in political fields. As for technological risks, there are likely to be many errors and inaccuracies that decrease the quality of the service offered by AI, such as program errors, bias, and because remember, program it condemns them to repeat the same errors as we do. And for economic risk, there is the loss of jobs and social inequality, since these type of technologies have the ability to perform repetitive tasks for long periods of time and do so without receiving a salary or getting sick, and thus allowing the automation of production of processes. This means that the implementation of artificial intelligence in the industry is much more profitable for industry to replace employees with machines. And according to Forbes in 2018, it is estimated that there will be approximately 5 million jobs lost because of AI. And in terms of social risk, we find that it could lead to technological dependence, addiction, crime, cyber attacks, and loss of privacy and social interaction. And finally, in politics, AI puts countries' democracies at risk as they have the ability to help criminals interfere in presidential elections.
Finally, we find that artificial intelligence has a great potential to change our lives, and as it will change the way we interact with the environment and society. In addition, Spyros Makridakis, PhD, states that there are 4 possible scenarios for the future for artificial intelligence. The first is utopia, in which artificial intelligence will help us to prolong our life expectancy and perform the demanding activities for us. The pessimistic case scenario is that artificial intelligence will completely replace us, and humans will be relegated to a lower category. Another and more enthusiastic scenario proposes that humans will be able to take the control for artificial intelligences and only take advantage of their advantage without having to deal with a disadvantage. And finally, the last scenario proposes that artificial intelligence will never be able to improve humans, ruling out the possibility that they could harm us in any way.
As for artificial intelligence, remember that we believe it is dangerous because, among other things, it can replace humans, increasing unemployment. Regarding this view, there are people who believe that while artificial intelligence allows the loss of jobs, it also creates new ones. However, to refute this counter-argument, let's remember that the jobs that AI could create will be highly specialized, which means that the new jobs will require engineers, data analysts, professionals, etc. Since simple jobs will be done by AIs, this excludes people without a university degree from the labor field, which leads to the strengthening of social inequality.
And why is our project important? The development of artificial intelligence is a topic that is already in our present and is beginning to impact our lives. And therefore, it is essential that we as human beings become aware of the risks and advantages that could come with this revolution. And right now, we have the power to control what will happen in the future, because if we wait for things to happen, it could be too late. And as human beings, we have the responsibility to inform ourselves about everything that affects our future. And on that basis, make decisions that will save us from the consequences. And Remember that to become aware now is to save our future or tomorrow.
In conclusion, artificial intelligence allows machine systems to emulate human behaviors and capabilities, transforming the way we interact with the environment. It was developed very rapidly and can have advantages such as improving medical diagnostics and disadvantages such as massive job losses. Artificial intelligence is a tool that have a potential to both improve and worsen the lives of human beings, so it should be a topic seriously considered to prevent possible drawbacks. If one thing is certain, it is that artificial intelligence is here to stay, and like any revolution, it will transform the world forever. We would like to add that since artificial intelligence is very dangerous, citizens should demand regulations that prevent the most serious consequences, such as unemployment.
And the limitations of our work is that one of the most significant limitations on this and other work that talks about artificial intelligence is that this is a revolution that is just beginning. And therefore,